Today I am going to a talk in Bangor. I was told about it last night and I'm quite curious what it will be like. Now I must admit, today I would have been editing a podcast and I'm going to have to do that this evening. I'm about a third of the way through marking it up. You have to put markers on the video when you edit it. Well, you don't have to. That's what I've taken to do in the way that I edit. I just kind of watch through the whole thing, put markers, and then I know where to place images and videos. I'm a third of the way through, so I've got 2/3 left this evening, and then I've got to source more images and videos, because I've already got some images, but not enough really. More images, some videos, and put it together, export it, and then send it to my co-host. That's the plan for this evening, as well as a daily drawing. Now, yesterday was the 6th installment of the Inktober challenge, and I forgot to put the number 6 on the drawing. I'm trying to put the number on every drawing, and I completely overlooked that yesterday. So what I'm going to do is insert a video now. This morning I quickly pulled out a white gel pen and put a 6 on a point on the drawing, so that's done. Should have been on the day, but there we are. I forgot about that. I think it's because I was at someone else's house and I keep forgetting about the number. Now, again, I'm going to be at a gallery today, Pontio in Bangor, for this talk. I'm going to try and do a drawing there if I can, and my plan is to either draw something abstract whilst I'm there just listening to the talk, or to do something which is somewhat representational of what I'm seeing, and then insert a 7, because I'm sure there'll be a number 7 somewhere where I am. So that's my intention, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The artist who told me about this talk today is someone who I'm in discussions with about having her on the channel. I love her artwork. I think she's a really nice person, and you never know. She's a little bit shy, but if she is ever willing to be on the channel, she knows she's more than welcome. So who knows? I say look forward to that, but it's not really anything which has been finalised, but we are talking about it because she knows that I would love the opportunity to sit down and talk to her about her process and to show off some of her artwork. So yeah, that might happen. Okay, let's get some of the sights, sounds and smells of the day. I found the conversation that was happening in Bangor really interesting, so instead of me talking throughout the drawing, I thought I would leave in the audio of the talk that I was listening to and show you the drawing that I was doing whilst I was listening to the talk. It's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes to draw in public, and especially at an event like this. But I thought, I'm really pushed for time, so I'm just going to do the drawing that I have to do for the day and hopefully not disrupt anyone else's experience. I found it really interesting, and as though even though I'm cutting in between parts of the conversation, I think you can get the gist of some of the things that were covered, and hopefully you find it interesting. When I was editing this video, I found it interesting just to hear the bits of snippets, and it's talking about AI art and NFTs and things like that, which I found fascinating, especially at the end when someone in the audience started pushing back a little bit against the ideas presented in the talk.
Decisions that are not entirely yours. But also, a lot of the things would happen that were unexpected. And this is what was really interesting, and what was the reason I was doing that, instead of just focusing on being a good photographer and not really being like the new prompt-based method. Sometimes I see those perfect images of Iceland generated, but I would say that's not the reason I want to use AI. I feel that they are part of the work, so that was, I guess, challenging.
And Alex, I just wanted to, taking in consideration what Ivona said actually here today is taking in consideration that, artists do generate work, and then it's kind of always the job of the curator to maximize the impact of the work, and sometimes we cannot really do it.
Especially because my journey also started with photography. Funny enough, I wrote my thesis on propaganda photography. In a traditional sense, artists, during sort of the embrace of technology and art. For example, we worked with Ars Electronica in 2020 on their first online pavilion with 200 artists, which is so easily replicable, but it's also about exhibiting the work. And the whole statement we were making with the fact that the platforms for exhibiting art are focused only on the commercial elements, but not enough on the curatorial elements. We created a platform where you experience art online, but you have things like audio tracks from artists talking about their work. It didn't require as many intermediaries. It didn't require a trusted brand to tell you that if you buy this, this is legitimate. You could now directly see that this is the artist that made the work, this is the edition, and collect. And I think a very big challenge we had was exactly how do we display the works below, because one was the caption for the video on the top.
And we had this projector, so many screens, like, what do you want and how we should do that, and it's working together and figuring out.
What kind of difficulties did you find in kind of embedding yourself as a curator in an institution? The School of Digital Arts in Manchester, just if you don't know, has a major campus.
Art and technology, giving more importance to technology than art, So we think there is a new technology, and then the artist works with that technology, and then a new technology is always following the technology innovation. But I come from an era in which, when I was doing a PhD, the new media artwork was pretty defined, and they Serpentine Gallery as an entire sector, So where is this specialization of museum and complex like ZKM or Ars Electronica, But so when I started to create, to understand what's our vision, what's the vision we would like to express, So this is we started to trying to connect the old new media artwork made of the context I just mentioned, and also the new artwork that jumped into this work. Curators that have never wanted to deal with at all with art and technology, suddenly they started to make a big exhibition about art and technology, which is fine. But the important thing is that what we can give to this board is the research, is the vision. Because you need to know a little bit what happened before and what has brought, what brought to the point we're living today. So I know that I haven't responded to your question at all, but just to say that, and that's the first thing that we can't. We have always to keep into consideration what's the vision, and in order to build the vision, you need a research. And then there are a lot of other problems, that I face.
But do you think the institution there is a lack of vision in terms of digital and advanced technology?
I think
from contemporary institutions at large, let's say, we are generalizing here, okay, because each of them have their own agenda, staff, and mission, and funding structure, etc., etc. Generally speaking, do you feel there is, kind of an integration, not much in the program, but in the vision and the mission of the institution themselves?
I think that, I think that some institutions that have been very important in the context of art and technology are trying to renew, and they are looking for a new vision. From our side, what we did, it was like creating this bridge. So we started to do 3 exhibitions a year, choosing the main topics of our era, speaking with researchers and scholars as well. And so opening a debate about it, So the first topic was game managing culture. Not game managing culture, because it's not only a matter of technology, but it's a matter of what kind of culture that technology engaged, And we started to do project with Pioneer in art and technology, and we made the exhibition. We did exhibition of Rebecca Allen. She was a pioneer in CGI. She made a big project in the 80s with Kraftwerk, and but the contemporary art ones never been interested in Rebecca Allen. Now they start, and then but at the same time, what are the most interesting contemporary young artists as well, and then on the younger artists. So we created a narrative, and also we're gonna have the show now. This traveling project with this guy here, the Italian guy, Alfredo. And also, of course, the Italian charm, It's a very professional, I guess. But anyway, sorry, just last thing. But the most interesting thing for me in Soda is not the fact that we are a gallery, the facade, and blah, 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 but it's the fact of having the whole school full of studio, very professional studio, and opening also co-production projects. So in this way you can change the narrative of the building, which is not just a school and an art center, but is the whole building that is changing into linking, creating.
And I think there was a lot of problematic art because of the lack of gatekeeping. I don't know if anybody else here spent any time looking at NFTs, but the amount of misogynistic naked elves in the woods was astounding.
Even nods on the blockchain, there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
Content art.
That's true. That's very true.
And I think it's NFTs, I think it's just arts in general. If we think about 90% of the art market, we can include kids' pictures in kindergarten.
Right, but I think the problem that I was pushing back on is the claim that NFTs and crypto art is somehow more accessible than art was before, which I don't find.